first game, so I don't want to put too much weight in a win or a loss in the first game. But the Chiefs look good, and the Texans, Deshaun looked good.
He always looks good.
Deshaun looked really good.
I tweeted late last night, I don't care how great the Chiefs look. I love watching Deshaun compete at quarterback because he competed all night long.
And Deshaun had 3 drops. Robinson dropped 3 passes, Skip. He dropped a touchdown in the end zone, 2, which Travis Kelce ended up making. And he dropped dropped the pass on the sideline. So theoretically, Mahomes should have been 27 of 32.
Yep.
That's what he should have been.
Okay.
With 4 touchdowns, and probably would have had a 95 QBR.
I will buy that. Do you realize your Kansas City Chiefs had 1 penalty for 5 yards in an opener in a pandemic?
That's unheard
with
of.
No preseason?
That's unheard of.
It's unheard of, and it is a tribute to Andy Reid. I got to tell you, that means you were well-schooled, well-drilled, like over-prepared for game 1 because I said mid-season form, you look like you were in playoff form.
Right. Well, Skip, no one should have really jumped off sides because, I mean, I know they had fans in the stands, but it was so sparse, they were so spread out. I mean, you could hear. I mean, you should have been able to hear everything.
They had 16,000, which is not tiny, but
16 in the stadium that holds 80.
All right, we'll get to them in just a second, but they had to start that kid, L'Jarius Sneed, at cornerback, a 4th-round pick out of Louisiana Tech, who did run 4.37. And it was clear from the start that Deshaun was going after him to fire test him. And he stood up all night, and he did pick off the 1 interception that Deshaun threw. And it's another one, bully for the Chiefs, Steve Spagnuolo. Their defensive unit looked even better than it did last year to my eye. It was flying. Chris Jones was flying.
Oh, yeah, Chris,
And they were all over Deshaun much of the night because I don't think Houston can protect him.
Well, that's the biggest thing, Skip. You cannot have your tight end give up a sack, give up a hit to a safety on your quarterback. That cannot happen. Now, if he's trying to block Chris Jones, he's trying to block a defensive end or one of these elite-level pass-rushing linebackers, I get it. You got hell on your hand. But you cannot give up a hit that leads to an interception to a DB when you're a tight end and you're 6'3", 6'4", 250 pounds. That cannot happen.
Okay. So let's talk about what happened before the game started.
Yes.
And this is going to be played out before a lot of games this Sunday.
Yes.
How are you going to protest? How are you going to remind everybody about the racial justice that should be top of mind in this country right here, right now? We know what the NBA has been doing. Now it's the NFL's turn. You are on stage. Show what are you going to do? So last night, the Chiefs by themselves lined up about 30 minutes before kickoff across their end zone line, their goal line. And they watched Alicia Keys perform Lift Every Voice and Sing, which is obviously considered the Black national anthem. And the Texans stayed in their locker room all the way up through the national anthem. You good with that?
I'm good with it.
Okay. That's one way to go. Okay. Then they came out after the national anthem, and they joined in a line. They joined the Chiefs in a line that spanned the field from goal line to goal line. Very impressive looking. It was reported, even the Associated Press story says, that you could hear boos echo.
I heard it. Skip, I wanted to hear how it was going to be received, even after the PA said, let's join in unity. It's kind of like, Skip, let's bow our heads for a moment of silence, and somebody boos because you don't like the moment of silence in which you're bowing your head for. So what I'm starting to see, it wasn't about, Skip, it wasn't about the flag. It wasn't about the military. So even though we're saying we want unity, so you booing that people are trying to bring a close to racism and inequality, injustice. So you booing that. So in other words, you're telling me you for racism because the PA guy told you what it was. Join us in a moment of unity. No anthem.
Nope.
So I don't want to hear anything. So in other words, there's
that was no flag involved.
No flag involved. So in other words, Skip, there's never a right time in some people's mind for you to protest racism. It doesn't matter when. It doesn't matter how. Skip, you say, well, peaceful. Well, Dr. King, you can't get any more peaceful than Dr. King, and then you end up beating him and you killed him. Well, you can't get more peaceful than someone kneeling. And Skip, the PA, they joined arms. Skip, ain't nobody kneel. They joined arms, linked up, and you booed.
All the way.
All the way.
From goal line.
So in other words, Skip, you know what?
Yep.
Is what you're protesting, I like kind of the way it is. That's what you told me.
Okay. I am so with everything you just said, but just to be fair, I have listened back to the opening audio of that again and again, and I think I hear a few boos, but I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
16,000 people, not a tiny, I mean, for a basketball crowd, that would be a pretty
that's almost a sellout.
Okay, all right. But there was some cheering.
Yeah.
There was some like opening moment enthusiasm that you could hear growing in the crowd.
Right.
Neither coach said he could hear any boos, but J.J. Watt said, I was very disappointed in the booing.
Yes.
So I'm going to say that validates that he at least was hearing some booing.
I think the thing is, Coach Skip, coach is always trying to take the high road. They're always going to say, you know, hey, I didn't hear anything. Because, you know, they always going to, but the players heard. Yeah. J.J. Watt is as All-American as it come. J.J. Watt, Midwest, flag, J.J., hey, we know what he did when they had the big hurricane down in Houston.
Yep.
The money that he raised, he ended up winning Walter Payton Man of the Year. So I'm going to trust J.J. Watt, but I'm also going to trust my ears. Okay. I know what I heard.
I heard listen, I've faced this my whole career when I used to be a newspaper columnist on Deadline, and I was thinking, they booed or did they? You know, like, was it 5 people?
Right.
Or was it 2,500 people? I don't know.
For me, I don't care if it was 1.
Yeah.
I just want to know why you're booing.
Yep.
Because the PA told you why they were doing what they're doing. Said in unity. So what they're trying to do is bring attention to get equality and justice for all in America. And you boo that. So what they're trying to do is like, race A. No, we don't want you to do that here. So it's never the right time in some to end racism. To bring equality and justice for all. In some, like I said, it wasn't all 16,000, Skip. It never is. No. Just like all 16,000, when maybe 80,000, Skip, everybody doesn't stand at attention during the play of the national anthem before Colin Kaepernick. Yep. Some people going to the bathroom, hey, I got to get this last bathroom break. Some people going to concession. So I get it. Some people are just arriving to the stadium.
Yep.
So there's no such thing as all and every. But I'm saying there should have been none, Skip. Because if you say, if what you say is true, that you want equality and you want justice for all, and we need to change in America, why are you booing?
Because it's still out there. You know it and I know it. You know it and I know it.
Yes.
And it will be represented everywhere.
Yeah.
There's going to be that segment that is going to say, boo, no.
Yeah. At least we know what the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins say, we're not coming out. Say, we tired of all this lip service and all this playing, you know, these slogans and hashtags and all that. We staying in. Until we see some change, some real change, until we see powerful people in position of authority, reach across and say, hey, bro, I need you to do this solid for me.
Yep.
The people in Washington, we ain't coming out.
I thought maybe during the anthem, only Chiefs on the field. I thought more the Chiefs might kneel, which I'd been great with. I wouldn't have been surprised if all the Chiefs knew.
I only saw one, I think one.
One that was reported. Right. So I couldn't see the whole line exactly, but only one, and a couple of teammates had hands on shoulder pads of his. So that's going to be, as you say, roll is going to be taken before these games coming up on Sunday and Sunday night.
At least for the first couple of weeks.
That's right.
And then it'll just...
And roll will especially be taken on Sunday night out here at SoFi Stadium.
Yes.
The opening game. Cowboys. Rams.
They looking at they're gonna be
see where you are, Jerry. We're gonna check your oil.
Yeah, I believe you'll definitely see more people kneel for the Cowboys than what you saw with Kansas City because they've been waiting for this moment. Jerry had them scared for a second, there, Skip, and then they realized like, hold on, he can't really do anything now because he gonna catch criticism, he gonna catch flack. So. Let me go ahead and do it.
And it sounded like, though I never can quite interpret everything Jerry says, it sounds like he gave them the green light to do whatever they feel like doing.
He had no choice, Skip.
Yep.
Because the thing is that when you're all powerful and someone challenges you for that power, and that's what Jerry's like, he wants to think. I still